Wow. Oh, shit. Took some time. I know. So this particular Torah, Ches, is one of the Torahs that are based on the pasuk of Tiku b'chodesh shofar b'ketzer liyochagenu. This is the last Torah that Rabbeinu said in this world. Practically, the whole Torah was said in Rosh Hashanah, and it was finalized right after Yom Kippur. And as we know, the 4 days, the fourth day into Sukkot, Rabbeinu was Mistalik. So, as we said, being that a long time already passed since we were here learning, it's sort of like touch the basic things that we went through. Rebbe Akiva talks about the principle that when you admonish someone, you tell him what's wrong with him, you cause him to smell bad by himself. That bad smell that he feels is basically the stench of the bad deeds of the Ma'asim Roim that he did. The Rebbe says that when people do this, they move on. It's very much like something that smells very bad. After a while, it forms some kind of a crust, and the bad smell diminishes. But when a person is being admonished improperly, it's like moving something, that has a bad smell. So it causes the whole thing to rise up again, the bad smell, to start up again. And it says this is a very, very serious matter, because what it does, it's not just something which is like not nice to do. Why do you want to do this to this guy? But what it actually does is that it causes, let's see if you can do this. I don't know. No. What it does is it stops the neshama of that person from having sustenance. Because we have a cloud that the body has its own sustenance, physical body. The neshama has a different sustenance. The Gemara Maseches Bracha says, how do we know that you have to take a bracha on the salmon? The Gemara says, what kind of a question is it? You're not allowed to enjoy this world without the bracha. This is Perek Shishi, Maseches Brachas. That's the maskana, right? That's svarim. So you cannot, partake enjoyment from this world without saying a bracha. But the Gemara says, yeah, but smell is different. The Gemara says, what is it? What is that? Amen. What is something that the neshama enjoys it? The neshama derives sustenance from it, but the body doesn't. Well, so that's the smell. Basically, we have 3 levels of enjoyment in this world and in Gan Eden and in Olam Haba after Gan Eden. The lowest level of enjoyment is food. A higher level of enjoyment is smell. That is the thing that the neshama consumes, and that will happen in Gan Eden. In Gan Eden, the enjoyment of the neshamas is from the smell. There's a mice in the Gemara, how, I don't remember who it was, I don't remember which Maseches it is, but the story is that they took one of the Tanoim that was very, very poor, and he was taken to Gan Eden. And what he did was he put leaves that fell from the trees of Gan Eden, in his clothing. He didn't want to enjoy to take things from Gan Eden into this world, so he emptied. He took off, emptied the leaves from the clothing, and what was left, there's a certain smell that permeated the cloth. And from that, he was able to actually to sell for a huge amount of money in this world. How the whole thing works is, of course, something we don't understand, but nevertheless, it tells you that the enjoyment, the sustenance, as it were, the benefit of Gan Eden is the smell. It's not the level of eating anymore. This is something the body does. The level of the neshamas, they get the union of smell. But this is the union of Gan Eden. Gan Eden is a lower madriga. It's a lower madriga. There's a higher madriga of Olam Haba, where the enjoyment will be on the level of seeing, the level of sight. He says, "Tzadikim yoshvim v'ne'enim miziv hashchina." They enjoy the radiance of the Shechina.
Is that the neshama thing or the eyes, physical eyes?
It's probably the higher level of the neshama. Obviously, it's a higher level. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not what kind of, but this is the level that we will reach on, after more refinement in the world to come. Now, so we are talking here on the first two, talking about the enjoyment of the body, which is Rabbeinu calls mezoina de gufa. That's the food of the body. There's mezoina de nishmata. That's the food of the neshama. That even in this world is already on the level of reach. The neshama gets the benefit of its sustenance from the in of reach. Now, this reach is not just a physical smell. This is a spiritual smell. Because obviously, when somebody is being embarrassed by having his averis pointed out, this is not a physical smell. This is a spiritual smell. And so this kind of smell, Rabbeinu says that when the admonisher, the one who criticizes, is fit to criticize, like Moshe Rabbeinu, like Yaakov Avinu, and so forth and so on. What he does is not only does he not causes the people who he admonishes to feel bad about themselves. What actually does is he imbues good smell in them. It's like you're telling a child, instead of telling you you're a thief, you're a bad boy, whatever it is, which makes him feel bad about himself. You tell him, a tzaddik like you? Nah, come on. It's not it's pasnish for you. Nah. So this is a admonishment that makes the child feel better about himself, right? Make him smell good about himself. Now, the admonishment of Moshe Rabbeinu was very blunt. There was no niceties here. He said, "Atem chatosim chato gdoilo." You sinned a very grave sin. He really let him have it. And still, this is after Chet HaEgel. This is near the good smell. Nosan Reicha, he says in Shir Shir. So the Gemara says, what do you mean Nosan Reicha? Should it be near the my caches of besamim left me because of Chet HaEgel. So he says near the Ozav Reicha. He says it doesn't say Nosan means that he gave more. He says that when Moshe Rabbeinu, even when he admonished them, he made them feel good. He was allowed to schos on them. When Moshe Rabbeinu said to Kadosh Baruch Hu, he says to Kadosh Baruch Hu, "Chata am hazeh chato gdoilo." These people, they sinned gravely. They sinned gravely. It was a big chato gdoilo. But he said the Moshe Rabbeinu actually was what was understood from what he said is that Moshe Rabbeinu was telling Kadosh Baruch Hu, what chance did these people have? I mean, you gave them everything. You gave them gold. You gave them silver. You gave them everything. It says a mashal to a Ben Melech. It's a very famous mashal. It's a mashal Ben Melech that his father, put a wallet with golden coins. In other words, American Express Platinum, credit card in his pocket, and put him under, outside a nightclub, outside, Shuk Shel Zoynis. So this is what can the boy do and not sin? I mean, it's like everything that Moshe Rabbeinu did, even though he said very harsh words to Israel, made them feel even better about themselves.
He said he mentioned only the places that they were.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But but later on, he says before he passed away, you really let him have it. Mm-hmm. But even then, as we learned in Torah Chav Beis at great length, that Mochichi Ador, the admonishers of generation, they have to be very careful. On one hand, they have to let the people know what they did wrong. But on the other hand, they have to conceal it so that the people, so the Sitra Achar will not say, you see, they did it. So, so this is what you mentioned, Moshe, when he said, he just mentioned the places. So they will understand, but nevertheless, they will still be concealed. Comes the question: how can Moshe Rabbeinu, really let them have it, really let it rip, and they will still feel good about themselves? The answer is It's not on the words. It's the voice. And we gave an example. We gave an example that you can say the same thing, and by saying it with a different, vocal affliction, you give a total different meaning. So, like, where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been? Where have you been? Same words, but you're saying something very, very different. So, in other words, the voice contributes to the quality, as it were. But this is not what Moshe Rabbeinu, when he said it to them, he didn't say, you did a very bad thing, a very bad boo-boo. No, he told them. Here we're talking about a voice on a much higher spiritual level. That voice is the source of that good smell. That's the source of the reach that the neshama enjoys. Rabbeinu said that this voice is the reason why it gives such tremendously good smell, embeds it into the neshamas that hear it, is because the source of this smell is pure chesed. It comes from pure chesed, from pure love. So when somebody loves somebody completely, and even when he admonishes him, it's not an admonishment that breaks a person. Because whoever it is that's telling you off, he doesn't want to humiliate you. He doesn't want to put you down. He doesn't want to make you feel bad. He wants what's good for you. The ultimate, this is called anybody who admonishes in order to bring people closer to Kadosh Baruch Hu, moshchim alav chut shel chesed. They draw upon him a string of chesed. In Romania goes the chesed is, and this particular chesed is called, it's called a shir, that is going to be a song that's going to be awakened in the future. And this song is called shir Echad, Kofel, Meshulosh, and Meruba. Pashut, Kofel, Meshulosh, Meruba. Single, double, triple, and quadruple. This corresponds to the 4 letters of Shem Havaya. Talking about the voice that is produced from the string that's played, like a bow on the string of the call, the voice of Machech Roy. So you have 4 letters, and when you add the letters, when you Shem Havai said, the way that you mentioned in the Kabbalah is it goes Yud and Yud K and Yud K Vav and then Yud K Vav K. If you add up all the letters, it comes out to 10. So altogether, that the gematria of all these letters is 72, which is the same gematria as Chesed. In other words, that voice is the song. That song is the song that is going to be heard and perceived in the future. Why in the future? Why not now? The answer is that we can. It's wonderful. Thank you. When we sing for somebody, what does this song represent? When you recognize someone's greatness, or somebody does you a favor. So you say, Shkoyach, thank you. What happens if that person does you something really outstanding? You're just not, saying thank you and moving on. Say, wow, this was so unbelievable. I got to do something for you. Maybe prepare you a basket with chocolates and whatever it is and flowers, just, to convey, how in my gratitude. What happens if the goodness that was bestowed upon me is so immense? What do? I cheer. That person comes in and I cheer. I scream, I whistle. Yeah, right? If what I'm actually experiencing is what was done with me is way beyond that, what comes then is a song. You sing a song of praise. That's what we do to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because the chesed HaKadosh Baruch Hu does with us to give us an existence as we go. It was at such a high level that the natural expression of gratitude already comes out as a song. A song can convey, things which are way beyond just words. Now, the songs that we sing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in this world, they are, as it were, commensurate with the greatness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu that we can witness right now, in this world. So the songs that we have today, as Rabbeinu says, they have ups and downs. The melodies that we play here in this world, sometimes the note goes up, sometimes it goes down, and the culmination of the choice of the notes creates a feeling. Ideally, what it does, Rabbeinu says, it picks out the nekudas of simcha from the sea of depression. This is the ideal role of a song in this world. This world is a world of tikkun. It's a world of tikkun. This world, is a world of ups and downs. You realize the Kadosh Baruch Hu's chesed. Because the olam exists in sheker, and you have to pick out the emes from it. As Chazal said, it's like a kipit shel ternegel, like a rooster picking out from a garbage heap. He finds a kernel of something to eat. That's olam sheker. By the way, but in Sichas Haran, Rabbeinu goes much, much deeper, and it's much scarier. He says that even after a person passes away, as long as he says in Olam Haba, he's still being hounded by all kinds of neshamas that did not reach that place. They're not jealous of him, and they mislead him, and all kinds of mazikim that mislead him. He says that's why it is so important to get close to tzaddik emes. It is able to operate in Olam Hazeh and Olam Haba. He says because it's very, very easy to mislead the neshama in Olam Haba. In fact, when a person passes away, most times the person is not even aware that he passed away. He thinks it still goes on. It goes on. It's just a bummer, a bad day. But it's just like a bad day that never ends. But it's just like, so that's why, in Breslov, one of the things we do is in a levaya, the people tell the the nifter, you should know. You should know that you're a nifter. Don't let anybody fool you. You go directly to Rabbeinu. Go to Tzaddik HaEmes. Don't let anybody fool you. There's a huge Rahmanis in the Olam Haba. He says only when the neshama finally goes through now dinu, whatever it is it has to go through, and reaches its final resting place, then it's called Olam HaEmes. Until then, it's still not Olam HaEmes. It's still Olam HaSheka, even though a person is no longer alive in this world. It's a really scary thing. You have to read the Sikha. Anyhow, so Rabbeinu says, this is the parish of the Pasuk, Harem, the Tiku B'chol Shofar B'Kesel Yom Chageinu. What you're supposed to do is to blow the shofar. Kadosh Baruch Hu says to Yirmiyahu Hanavi, Harem Keshofar Kolecho, raise like a shofar your voice, V'hoged le'ami pisham, and tell my nation their bad deeds, their crimes. In that pasuk, we learn first of all that the call is the thing that is necessary to tell the people what their crimes are, so that it's productive, it's not destructive. But he says, how are you supposed to raise your voice? You're supposed to raise like shofar. What does it tell us to raise the voice like shofar? Rabbeinu says that particular rayach is the in of Yira. The in for Mashiach. Mashiach is going to smell. I'm going to judge people according to looking at them or all kinds of testimonies, whatever it is. He's just going to smell them. He's going to know exactly what's going on inside them. What's it going to smell? Well, they put deodorant on that day. What is it going to smell? What is going to smell is going to smell their Yishmayim. Because the food, the sustenance of the neshama is the reach, is the smell. It's a spiritual smell. What is the spiritual smell? Yiras Shamayim. The voice that they can know, Eden, there's a river that comes from the source of Eden and waters the garden, the Gan Eden, where the good smells are. He says that Nahar, that river, is the Yiras Shamayim. How do we know that the river and voice are one thing? So Nasu Naharis Koilam. Rivers raise their voices. That's what it says. So he says it's here in this particular pasuk, Harem Kashofe Kolecho V'Haged Lami Pisham, we are talking about you need to raise your voice to the quality of something which is called kashofer. What is it? It's a kashofer is the letters of kaful, pashut, kaful, mishulash, merubah, shalosh merubah. In other words, you're supposed to raise your voice with your Shemaim to the level of the voice becomes like this song that we are going to be singing when the actual Metzias, as it were, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to be revealed to us. It's no longer going to be a call with ups and downs. It's going to be a call, a song that praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu in its eternity, as it were. And the infinite that's going to be revealed to us. That's a song that we cannot sing today. But nevertheless, with a bechina of a call, a bechina of a reyach, a bechina of a yira, you can already do it here. This entire Torah is based on, this is what the ultimate goal is. So a person will be able, of course, the tzaddik is the one who does a b'shleimus. The person will be able to help his family members, his friends, people that he has influence on, will be able to help them adhere to the straight and narrow, adhere to what's right to do, because this world is just a passageway. So the idea is, in this world, it's so easy. You said, it's so easy to get lost. People think they have options. Yeah, you have options over here because there's bchira. But anybody who has a shtickle sechel understands, no, there really are no options. So teichecho is very, very necessary, but it needs to be done in a way that brings you closer, not that pushes you away. By the way, this is not just between you and other people. It's all between you and yourself. We were learning Torah base, and Reish Pei base, Bina speaks of Likutey Moharan. The Yetzer Hara has a vested interest in convincing you that you're no good. You're no good. Come on, man. Stop fooling around. Let's not put our cards on the table. Let's let go of the pretense. Come on. You are not good. You never were good. You never will be good. Forget about it. That's what the Yetzer Hara wants. And how does he do it? Look what you did. Just look what you did. Look what you did. What are you going to say? Yeah, you're not going to do it again? Never meant to do it. What do you mean you're never going to do it again? How many times did you say, I'm never going to do it again? This kind of frustration of just, I don't want to do it, but then I fall and I do it, and I feel horrible. And it's such a cycle. At the end, I don't even know if I'm doing it because I feel bad about myself, or maybe I'm doing it in order to feel bad about myself. I'm no longer clear on this. I don't know if it happened to any of you, but this is exactly the kind of vicious cycle that the Yetzer Hara wants you to get you into. How can you argue? I did it. Did it. Heck, I'm still doing it. I did it. I'm still doing it. The idea is to be melamed zchus in yourself. That the voice of the Mechiach Haroi, which we're going to, the rest of the Torah speaks about how does one acquire that quality of voice, that spiritual quality of voice. This Torah has many parts. It's very complex, and it's put together like the warships, that are put together like a lady's watch. It's like with precision, every single part. And so that's the last Torah that the Rebbe said in his lifetime, the 18 days before he passed away, and the story of how the Rebbe told him what conditions. He said it was almost impossible for him to say the Torah. When you learn this Torah, it's so incredible. It is so intricate. It's so complex, and everything fits together. And it's such amazing secrets that you would think that he said it, feeling good, with maybe a glass of tea, and he practically wasn't able to speak. He was coughing up blood, and just like 2 weeks before he passed away. But the nekuda that we want to sort of like engage in is Yes, you have to give toichaho. You have to admonish yourself and other people who listen to you. But it has to be an admonishment that comes from chesed, that doesn't push you away, that doesn't break you down, it doesn't make you feel like that's it. There's no hope. There's no hope. There's no hope. So what do you want me to do? The teichacha has to be teichacha that raises hope, which is the good smell, which is the Yir Shemai. Not a teichacha that diminishes the hope. It makes it smell bad and feel like I belong in the garbage anyhow, so what the heck? This is what this is about. And Rabbeinu says, when we started going into, okay, so how do you get into this? How do you get this song? He says, we already explained there is a voice that waters the garden, where all the smells and all the years are raising. And that smell is the sustenance of the neshama. And by elevating the importance of the sustenance of the neshama, it lowers down the aspect of the sustenance of the body. And the admonition needs this voice. So it doesn't make people smell bad about themselves. Give them hope, give them closer, give them your Shemai. And Rabbeinu says that the main thing is the call that we're talking about is a call Yaakov. That's the voice that we speak about. Rabbeinu starts speaking about how do you acquire that particular voice. Rabbeinu says to come to this voice, to achieve this voice, this is only possible through tefillah. Because the main source of tefillah is rachamim and tachanunim. Tefillah, the crux of tefillah, the ikar, the principle of tefillah, is rachamim and tachanunim, and begging Kodesh Baruch Hu. We won't be able to get much into this particular notion at the show. We're doing it next week. But why tefillah? Why is tefillah what does tefillah has to do with the voice of Rachamim and Tachanunim? What's it's the idea of Chesed? What is it? Because nothing gives a person hope in Yir Shemayim like a connection to Kodesh Baruch Hu, and knowing that you can fix. The Rebbeinu says, if you believe that you can break, believe that you can fix. Tefillah means there's cure. Tefillah means I can speak to Kodesh Baruch Hu. I can speak to Kodesh Baruch Hu, and I can change things. Tefillah is the great hope. And this comes from Das. Whenever a person feels that he is been there, done that, he's done, is finished, tefillah can get you out of it. If you feel so bad about yourself, you can't even. There's nowhere to run. You can run, but you can't hide. Between you and yourself, it's like there's nowhere to go. There's tefillah. Go to Kodesh Baruch Hu, sit with him, tell him all about it. And if you sit long enough, usually about 20 minutes to half an hour, you break the klipa, the gate that lets you into actually speaking. Things will open up for you, and you'll get a das from the Kodesh Baruch Hu, an illumination of where you are, of the emes, will actually, B'ezrat Hashem, put you in the right path and give you hope. Kodesh Baruch Hu should help us, B'ezrat Hashem, that we'll all be zoichet to tefillah and to hope and to simcha. And I apologize for being so boring as to actually putting everybody to sleep. But that's what can you do? Not everybody, yeah. Well, that's a magid need to have. What can you do? So, without Hashem, we zoichet to see Mashiach without Hashem, without Hashem. I'll try to be more entertaining next time. Oh, too. Yeah.